Austin Pets Alive, isn't that the city shelter?
Isn't that an animal rescue?
Oh, Austin Pets Alive? Yeah, that's a vet clinic.
The pet adoption center.
The city pound.
Isn't that a giant vet clinic?
Oh, I heard that's a charity for injured animals?
It's hard to find somebody in Austin who doesn't know about Austin Pets Alive. We're arguably one of the most well-known and most beloved nonprofits in the city. It's safe to say, though, that not everybody who lives in Austin knows exactly what we do, and not all of our staff know exactly what we do. Inside APA is a video series that talks about all of our programs and people that make up Austin Pets Alive. Join us as we go inside APA. "72 hours. 72 hours is a long weekend, or about the time it takes to get a FedEx package. But not long ago, 72 hours is the amount of time a cat or dog entering Austin Animals Shelter system had a chance to survive. Just over 16 years ago, when APA first started saving pets from the euthanasia list, thanks to the help of volunteers and fosters, half of the pets that were entering Austin's sheltering system were not coming out alive. Thousands and thousands of lives were being lost just because that's how things were done for decades. Austinites knew we could do better, and we called for change. I sat down with Lindsay Ogan and Jordana Murby, who have been with APA since the beginning, to talk about what it was like for Austin Shelter's pets when APA first started.
To do more. At the time, the goal was Austin, making Austin no kill. And so that was a pretty specific goal. So we knew until we hit that mark and accomplish that mission, we had to keep going. The goal that was always part of the mission was to save more animals and save as many as we possibly could. You know, it always felt from the very beginning like we were making a difference. It felt like we were making history. It felt like we were doing something really important.
At the time, where I'm standing now wasn't always a place for lifesaving. In fact, APA didn't always operate out of TLAC. We used to come here to save animals that were on 72-hour euthanasia notices, and we were their last chance. That's not all that looked different.
There were animals dying every day needlessly. We as a city were discarding lives that we knew were important lives and that we could save. You know, it was puppies, kittens, small and medium-sized dogs. Of course, large dogs as well, but at the time, it was all just really highly adoptable animals that we knew if we could just get them out of the shelter and into foster homes, we could find them their long-term homes.
Back in the early 2000s, a lot of people thought the only way to keep pets out of the shelter system was through spay and neuter initiatives. In fact, that's what Dr. Jefferson thought when she founded Emancipate, but quickly realized that wasn't the sole solution. Lindsay Ogan worked with Dr. J at Emancipate and was one of APA's first volunteers.
I was still working at Emancipate, but she would text me pretty much every day to remind me of all of the kittens and cats that were healthy and adoptable and wonderful and getting euthanized every single day at the city shelter. She was like, well, we have to do something different because we've been doing high volume spay neuter for a decade and the numbers were not changing. They were still killing so many animals at the shelter every day. And so we knew that high volume spay neuter was important, but it wasn't the solution. It wasn't the only solution. And just seeing those lists every day of, dozens of and healthy kittens, very adoptable, but the city shelter was so focused on bring them in, 3 days stray weight, and then you euthanize them, and that was just the only real model. And they had some adoptions, but not very much. And so much of it was frantically stitching together, how am I going to save this cat's life today? Because if I don't get it out of that door, they're going to take it back to that room and euthanize it. I'd get that printed euthanasia list at TLAC at night. I would have until 7 p.m. the next day to place whatever I could off of that list. And whenever I didn't place, it was put to sleep. That people don't recognize these faces were on someone's kill list somewhere, right? Every single face that I look at APA, I know because I used to be the one that got that list. Every single one of those knowing that they would not be alive if it wasn't for the work we were doing. And if we just said, nah, I'm tired, or I give up, I don't want to do this, that puppy wouldn't have been alive.
Many years have passed since our work in Austin began. We continue to remain vigilant, and our work is evolving. We save lives directly through our daily operations and our programs like PASS and human animal support services. We're supporting people and their pets so they don't need a shelter at all. The work is hard, but it's worth it.
But it definitely gets to a point in moments in time where it is just really difficult. I have put in my resignation to Dr. J once and went back on it because this work really gives me purpose in my own life, in my personal life. This job, this organization has, but it really defines who I am in a lot of ways. You know, my family knows that this work is very important to me, and I balance both. But building this life with APA has been so special, but it really is a part of who I am.
Regardless of the job that you do at Austin Pets Alive, it's likely that it means a lot to you for one reason or another. The work we do is personal and helps define us as humans. It also helps define the city of Austin and gives a lot of meaning to our friends, our neighbors, and our community. We hope you enjoyed this inside look at APA, and we're excited to share future episodes with you.